Good afternoon, students. So in this session we are going to discuss exercise 13.2 based on multiplication theorem and independent events. Let's see the questions. Question number 1. If P of A is given, P of B is given, find P of A in section B if A and B are independent events. Given that these two events are independent events, now we have to find P of A intersection B. So given P of A is 3 by 5, P of B is 1 by 5. Probability of A and B we know. Now we need P of A in section B as A and B are independent events. So what is the condition for A and B to be independent events? We know it is probability of A intersection B is equal to probability of A into probability of B. As A and B are independent events implies probability of A intersection B is equal to probability of A into probability of B. This is the condition for independent events. So this is what you have to find. A intersection B, I can write P of A 3 by 5 into P of B 1 by 5. So answer 3 by 25. Understand? So required probability of A in section B is 3 by 25. Okay. So notation based problems are important. For 2 marks, 1 mark, 3 mark type, they will be asked. Next. See question number 2. 2 cards are drawn at random and without replacement from a pack of 52 playing cards. Find the probability that both the cards are black. So we are drawing 2 cards from pack of 52 cards. Now we are interested in finding the probability that both the cards are black. So one after the other without a replacement. Okay. Condition is we are drawing without a replacement. First one card is drawn. Without replacing, we are drawing one more card. What is the probability that both the cards are black? So experiment is drawing 2 cards without replacement. So already I discussed the difference between drawing without replacement, with replacement, and then drawing together. Okay, so you can go through that video where we discussed the difference between these 3 things. So 2 cards are drawn without replacement. Now we are interested in finding the probability that both the cards are black. So we are taking 2 events. First event is getting the first card as black. Second event is getting the second card as black. So let us take E is the event. Drawing black card in first draw. Okay, getting a black card in the first draw. Instead of drawing, we can take getting a black card in the first draw. And F is the event getting again a black card in the second draw. So here what is the probability of E? Now for first event there is no condition. Total we have 52 cards. In that we are taking one black card. Out of 52 cards, how many are black? We know half of the cards are black and half of the cards are red. So probability of getting a black card, total is 52. We are selecting one card, 52 C1. In that black cards are 26. In that we are selecting one. Okay, so it is 26 by 52, which is 1 by 2. This is the probability of getting first card as black. Next, it is without replacement. Now one card is drawn. Now what is remaining? So after first event, there remains 51 cards, because the drawing is without replacement. So there are remaining 51 cards. In that 51 cards, one black card is already drawn. So it is remaining black cards. There are only 25 black cards, because one black card is already drawn. Now, probability of F, that is drawing a second black card, given that first card is black, we have to consider that first card is black, because it is depending. The occurrence of F depends on E, because the drawing is without replacement. If it is with replacement, occurrence of F does not depend on E. So here the second event depends on the first event. So probability of drawing second one as black, given that first one is black. So total there are remaining 51 cards, we are selecting one. In that, how many are black cards? Only 25 are black cards. So select one. It is 25 by 51. Okay. So required probability is both the cards are black. So both the cards are black means occurrence of E and F. Okay. Probability of E intersection F we need. Now by multiplication theorem, how can I write P of E intersection F? It is P of E into P of F given E. By seeing the problem, we should be able to understand where we are applying multiplication theorem, where we are applying independent events, and where we are applying conditional probability. So all the things we have to understand. By practice we will get P of E is 1 by 2, P of F given E is 25 by 51. So multiplying 25 by 102. So the required probability is 25 by 102. Understand? Next question. A fair coin and an unbiased die are tossed. Let A is the event head appears on the coin and B is the event 3 on the die. Now check whether A and B are independent events or not. So experiment is what here? A coin and die are tossed. Experiment. A fair coin means normal coin and unbiased die means normal die are tossed. So when we are throwing a die and coin together, what will be the outcomes we can get? I can write the sample space, result on coin and the result on die. Result on coin, it can be in two ways. Result on die, it can be in 6 ways. So this can be filled in 2 ways, head or tail. This can be filled in 6 ways. So total there are 6 into 2. That is 12 outcomes will be possible. Okay, using a permutation combination formulas. So total number of outcomes here is 12. What will be the outcomes I can take? Head on the coin, 1 on the die, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. Tail on the coin, 1 on the die, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6. So these are the 12 possible outcomes. Now we are taking the events. What is the event A? Event A is defined. Head appears on the coin. So getting head on the coin. So what will be the outcomes in favor to A? It is head on the coin. Whatever be the result on die, we are interested in getting head on the coin. H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. So N of A is 6 and B is the event getting 3 on the die. Getting 3 on die. So whatever be the result on coin, we are interested in getting 3 on the die. So getting 3 on the die means we can take H3 and then T3. So N of B is 2 elements. Now we have to check that whether A and B are independent events or not. How do we check that A and B are independent or not? Or when we say that A and B are independent, if probability of A intersection B is equal to probability of A into probability of B, if these two are equal, then we say that A and B are independent events. So here we have to find these probabilities and see they are equal or not. Let us find the intersection. What is A intersection B? Common elements. H3 is common. Only one element is common. So n of A intersection B is only one element. So what is the probability of events? P of A is 6 by out of 12. Probability of B is 2 out of 12. And probability of A intersection B is 1 out of 12. Okay. Denominator we are writing here n of S, where total number of elements in the sample space is 12. So probability of A simplified form 1 by 2, probability of B 1 by 6, probability of A intersection B is 1 by 12. So here what is the probability of A into probability of B? 1 by 2 into 1 by 6, which is 1 by 12. And already we have P of A intersection B is also 1 by 12. Both are equal, as P of A intersection B is same as P of A into P of B. Therefore, A and B are independent events. Right? We are finding their corresponding probabilities and checking that P of A into P of B, is it equal to P of A intersection B or not? If they are equal, independent events. If they are not equal, they are not independent events. Understand? Next. Question number 7. Given that the events A and B are such that P of A equal to 1 by 2, P of B is 3 by 5 and P of B equal to P. Find P if they are mutually exclusive, second case, independent events. Now there is some difference between this mutually exclusive and independent events. Suppose A and B are two events. First case, if A and B are mutually exclusive, okay, so mutually exclusive events and independent events, they are not same. Okay, you may feel or you may think that mutually exclusive and independent, they are same, but actually they are not same. Okay, let us see the difference between these two. Mutually exclusive events, already we studied in lower classes what are mutually exclusive events means. The occurrence of one event prevents the occurrence of another event. So if one event is occurred means the other event will not occur. So here mutually exclusive events means the occurrence of one event is preventing the occurrence of another event. So here A intersection B, there is no common elements. Okay, there is no common elements for A and B. So A intersection B is null set means what is probability of A intersection B? It is 0. There are no common elements for A and B. Whereas if you are taking independent events, if I am taking independent events, what are independent events? Definition: the probability of occurrence of one event is not affected by the occurrence of another event. So whether another event has occurred or not, it is not going to affect the occurrence of another event. Okay, so they are independent events. So here difference is occurrence of one is preventing the occurrence of other, but here occurrence of one is not depending on the other event. What is the condition for independent events? P of A intersection B is equal to P of A into P of B. This is the condition for independent events. Okay, so for mutually exclusive events, P of A intersection B should be 0. whereas for independent events P of A intersection B is P of A into P of B. Okay. So understand that they are not same, they are different events. Okay. So under these two conditions we have to find the value of P here. Okay. So given P of A is 1 by 2, P of A union B is 3 by 5, and P of B is small p. Now we have to find that P of B value, small p value, if they are, first case, mutually exclusive events A and B are mutually exclusive events. Now A and B are mutually exclusive events means what we know is A intersection B is null set. There is no common elements for A and B. Now no common elements for A and B means P of A intersection B is 0. So using P of A intersection B is 0, we can find that small p value. Okay. So now consider P of A union B. We know formula for P of A union B. It is P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. P of A union B is given 3 by 5. P of A is 1 by 2. P of B is small p. And here P of A intersection B is 0. Okay. They are mutually exclusive events means probability of A intersection B is 0. From this we can find p value 3 by 5 minus 1 by 2. Okay. So 6 minus 1 by 10. Right. So required p value 1 by 10. Under what condition? If they are mutually exclusive events. Second case, A and B are independent events. Suppose if A and B are independent events, then what is the value of P? Okay. So what we know, A and B are independent events means implies P of A intersection B, we can write P of A into P of B. So again consider P of A union B, which is P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. Okay. Using this relation we can find that P value. So P of A union B, it is P of A plus P of B minus, how I am writing P of A intersection B here? Since they are independent events, I can write it as P of A into P of B. Now let us substitute the values. 3 by 5 is equal to 1 by 2 plus small p minus 1 by 2 into small p. So 3 by 5 is equal to 1 by 2. So by 2 is the LCM, we can take 1 plus 2p minus p. So 3 by 5 is equal to 1 plus p divided by 2. So from this I can find p value, right? So 1 plus p is 6 by 5. P is 6 by 5 minus 1, which is 1 by 5. So under these two conditions, mutually exclusive events, independent events, we are finding the value of P. Okay. Next. Question number 8. A and B are independent events with P of A given and P of B is given. Then find P of A intersection B, P of A union B, P of A given B and P of B given A. So given probability of A is 0.3, probability of B is 0.4, and given that A and B are independent events, A and B are independent events, what is the condition we can write? When A and B are independent events implies P of A intersection B is P of A into P of B. Condition for independent events, P of A is 0.3 into 0.4, so product is 0.12. So the required probability of A intersection B, first case it is 0.12. Next, second one, probability of A union B we can find using formula P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. P of A is 0.3 plus 0.4 minus 0.12. So 0.7 minus 0.12, it is 0.58. P of A union B is 0.58. Next, P of A given B. How do we can write P of A given B? By conditional probability, it is P of A intersection B divided by P of B. Okay, all the concepts we are using conditional probability, we are using multiplication theorem, and we are using independent events. So P of A given B we can write like this. Numerator P of A intersection B we find 0.12 divided by P of B is 0.4. So dividing will get 0.3. Right. Similarly, you can find P of B given A. Okay, you can solve it. Next, if A and B are two events such that P of A is given, P of B is given, and P of A intersection B given, then find P of not A and not B. So again, notation based problems important. So first we'll write what they given. Probability of A is given 1 by 4, probability of B is given 1 by 2, and probability of A intersection B is given 1 by 8. Now we need to find the probability of not A and not B. Okay. Now probability of not A and not B. So what is the meaning of not A and not B? This is given in word form. Now how can we write in mathematical form? Probability of not A means A dash, not B means B dash. Okay. So this is A dash, B dash. Now what we have? AND operation. So AND means it is a intersection, occurrence of both the events, not A and not B. So not A means it is A dash and intersection B dash. So we have to find the probability of A dash intersection B dash. So by using De Morgan law, A dash intersection B dash, we can write A union B whole dash. Okay. By De Morgan law, A dash intersection B dash is A union B whole dash. And what is A union B whole dash probability? 1 minus probability of A union B. Okay. Probability of A union B whole dash, I can write 1 minus P of A union B. So all these notation formulas already we discussed in previous classes. So 1 minus P of A union B, I can write as P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. Now all these quantities are given, you can substitute. 1 minus P of A is 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2 minus 1 by 8. Take LCM. So it is 2 plus 4 minus 1, right? 1 minus 6 minus 1, 7 by 8. Sorry, 6 minus 1 is 5 by 8. So 1 minus 5 by 8 is 3 by 8. So the required probability not A and not B, it is 3 by 8. Okay. So word problem we are converting to mathematical form and using the formulas we are solving. Next. Question number 10. Events A and B are given. State whether A and B are independent or not. So again, probability of A, probability of B is given, and probability of not A or not B is given. Using this, we have to evaluate or you have to find whether A and B are independent or not. Again, how do we check that these two events are independent or not? We will find the probability of A intersection B and see is it equal to P of A into P of B or not. If they are equal, independent; not equal, not independent. So given P of A is 1 by 2, P of B is 7 by 12, and also given probability of not A or not B is 1 by 4. So what is the notation for not A or not B means? Not A is A dash, not B is B dash. Now we have or. So occurrence of either A or B. So A or B means it is A union B type. So I can write it as probability of not A means A dash, or means union, not B means B dash. Okay. So you should be able to convert the word form to mathematical form. Then using formulas we can solve it. Okay. So or means union and means intersection. So how can I write A dash union B dash? A dash union B dash is nothing but A intersection B whole dash by using De Morgan law. A dash union B dash is A intersection B whole dash. Now probability of A intersection B whole dash is 1 minus probability of A intersection B. Okay. Probability of complement, it is 1 minus probability of event. 1 minus P of A intersection B is 1 by 4. So what is P of A intersection B? 1 minus 1 by 4, which is 3 by 4. So P of A intersection B, we find it as 3 by 4. Now see, is it equal to P of A into P of B? Here what is P of A into P of B? Probability of A is 1 by 2 into 7 by 12. Product is 7 by 24. P of A intersection B is 3 by 4, whereas P of A into P of B is 7 by 24. Are they equal? They are not equal. Okay. So they are not equal means they are not independent events. So as P of A intersection B not equal to P of A into P of B. So therefore events A and B are not independent events. They are not independent events. Okay. Next. Question number 12. A die is tossed thrice. Find the probability of getting an odd number at least once. Find the probability of getting an odd number at least once. Now die is tossed thrice. 3 times we are tossing a die. In that we are finding the probability that getting an odd number at least once. Getting odd number at least once means 1 or more times. Okay. 1 or more means we can get 1 time or 2 times, or maximum we can get 3 times, because die tossed 3 times. So maximum we can get all the 3 times as a odd number. Okay. So getting at least 1 odd number. So at least 1 means 1 or more odd numbers. So how many cases we have to consider here? Getting one odd number, or getting two odd numbers, getting three odd numbers. Now considering all these three cases will be lengthy here. Okay. So here there is one formula. Whenever we are interested in finding probability of occurrence of at least one, okay, probability of occurrence of any event at least once is written as 1 minus probability of occurrence of the event none of the times. Okay, the probability of occurrence of the event at least once is 1 minus probability of occurrence of none of that event. So using this formula we can solve the answer easily here. Okay, so at least one means I can write 1 minus none. Okay, so none means here you can consider only one event. So instead of considering the three cases, getting one odd number, two odd numbers, three odd numbers, instead of that what I can take it is 1 minus probability of getting none of the odd number, means all the three times we should not get a odd number. So taking that one case we can get the answer here. Okay, so you can make it as note, probability of getting the event at least once is 1 minus probability of getting the event none of the times, means 0 times. Okay, so here experiment is die is tossed 3 times. The sample space, if I want, I can write 1 1 1 1 1 2 and so on up to 6 6 6. So n of s is 6 into 6 into 6, which is 216. Okay, total number of outcomes is 216. Now here we are finding the probability of getting an odd number at least once. Okay, so here we require probability of getting odd number at least once. Okay, we require the probability of getting odd number at least once. It can be written as 1 minus probability of getting odd number none of the times. So all the three times we should not get odd number. Okay, so all the three times we should not get odd number means getting odd number none of the times. Okay, so all the three times we are not getting odd number. It is not odd number means it should be even number. So probability of getting all three even numbers, or all three times even numbers. Understanding? So first time we are tossing a die, we have to get a even number. Second time we are tossing a die, again we should get even number. Third time we are tossing a die, again we get a even number. Okay, this is what getting all the three times as even numbers. Okay, so this is the probability we require. So how do we get even number all the three times? We have to define that three events. So let A is the event getting an even number in first throw. Next, B is the event getting an even number in second throw, and C is the event again getting an even number in third throw. Now what about these events A, B and C? Observe, are they independent or not? First time we are rolling a die, I am interested in getting even number. So whatever the result we get in first time, and where when we are rolling the die for second time, is it going to affect the result? Okay, whatever the result we get in the first toss, it is not affecting the result of second toss. Okay, whether we get first time odd number or even number, it is not going to affect the result on the second throw. Okay, so here clearly A, B, C are independent events. Okay, the events are independent events. Here what is the probability of A getting even number in the first throw? How many even? 2, 4, 6 out of 6. So 3 by 6. Probability of B, it is also 3 by 6. Probability of C, it is also 3 by 6. Getting even number when we are throwing the die. Right. So these are the events we are defining and their corresponding probabilities. So we require, what we require is 1 minus P of getting all 3 even numbers or all 3 times even numbers. It is 1 minus probability of getting all 3 times even numbers, means first time we should get even number and second time even number and third time even number. It is A intersection B intersection C. How can you write P of A intersection B intersection C? Since they are independent events, P of A intersection B intersection C, I can write as P of A into P of B into P of C. Since A, B, C are independent events, so 1 minus P of A is 3 by 6 into P of B is 3 by 6 is also 3 by 6. So 1 minus 1 by 2, 1 by 2, 1 by 2. 1 minus 1 by 8. So the required answer is 7 by 8. Okay. The required probability of getting odd number at least once, it is 7 by 8. Okay. Next. So question number 14. Probability of solving a specific problem independently by A and B are given 1 by 2 and 1 by 3 respectively. If both try to solve the problem independently, find the probability that first case problem is solved, exactly one of them solve the problem. Okay. So model is important here. For 3 marks type, 2 marks type questions, it will be important. Now problem is given to 2 students. Suppose we take A and B are 2 students. Now we are given one problem to solve for A and B, and their respective probability of solving is given. For A is 1 by 2, B is 1 by 3. If both of them try to solve independently, means the probability of solving of A is not depending on probability of solving of B. So you can write P of A intersection B as P of A into P of B. Now find the probability that the problem is solved. Okay, so these two you have to solve here. So let us take probability of solving A. Given probability of A is 1 by 2 and probability of B is 1 by 3, right? Now both of them are trying to solve independently, as A and B are solving independently. So what you can write? Probability of A intersection B is equal to P of A into P of B. Okay. Whenever they are solving independently, condition is P of A into P of B. P of A is 1 by 2, P of B is 1 by 3. So intersection part, probability of A intersection B, it is 1 by 6. Now once we know P of A, P of B and P of A intersection B, now we can solve this 2 parts. See the first part. we have to find probability that the problem is solved. Now when we say that the problem is solved, I have given the problem to two students, A and B. Now when I can say that the problem is solved, word form is given. Now I have to convert that to mathematical form. So when we say that the problem is solved, we say that the problem is solved when either A solves or B solves or both of them solves. Then we can say that problem is solved. Okay. So probability of problem is solved. It is same as probability of either A solves or B solves or both of them solves. Okay, we say that the problem is solved when either A solves or B solves or both of them are solving the problem. So what is the notation we can write here? Probability of either A or B or both. It is nothing but A union B. So that is P of A union B. I can write P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. P of A is given 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 minus 1 by 6. So 6 is the LCM, 3 plus 2 minus 1. So 5 minus 1, 4 by 6 means 2 by 3. So the required probability that the problem is solved, it is 2 by 3. Okay, 4 by 6 means 2 by 3. This is the first part. Next, second part, probability of exactly one of them solve the problem. Probability of exactly one of them solves. So what is mean by exactly one of them solves? So exactly one of them solves means when A is solving, B should not solve, or when B is solving, A should not solve. Understanding? Exactly one. So only one of them should solve. When A solves, B should not solve, or B solves means A should not solve. So it is probability of A but not B, or B but not A. Understanding? So A but not B, or it is or, two cases, or B but not A. So it can be written as probability of A but not B means A intersection B dash, or plus B but not A means P of B intersection A dash. Okay. Since these events are mutually exclusive, okay, A solves but not B, B solves but not A, they are mutually exclusive events. So I can write sum of these probabilities. So A intersection B dash or B intersection A dash. So let us find these two. How can I write P of A intersection B dash? Now already we studied in theory, when A and B are independent events, what about A intersection B dash? They are also independent, and B intersection A dash, B and A dash are also independent. Okay, so we write that P of A intersection B dash, I can write P of A into P of B dash plus P of B intersection A dash means P of B into P of A dash we can write. Okay, intersection we can write probability of their products when the events are independent. Since A and B are independent, implies A dash, B dash are also independent. Okay, already theory we proved when A and B are independent, A and B dash are also independent, A dash and B are also independent, A dash and B dash they are also independent events. So these are independent event means we can write the probabilities like this: P of A into P of B dash plus P of B into P of A dash. P of A is 1 by 2, P of B dash I can write 1 minus P of B P of B into P of A dash, it is 1 minus P of A. Let us substitute the value. 1 by 2 into 1 minus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 3 into 1 minus 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 into 2 by 3 plus 1 by 3 into 1 by 2. So 1 by 3 plus 1 by 6. So LCM 6, 2 plus 1. So 3 by 6 means 1 by 2, right? So the probability that exactly one of them solves the problem, it is given by 1 by 2 here. Understand? Right. So these are the problems based on exercise 13.2. Try to go through all the remaining problems from the exercise, and any doubts you are having, please post in the group. Okay, thank you.